Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over 5 or 6 different console Fortnite tricks for Season 4. These are going to be situational tricks involving multiple different items available in the Season 4 loot pool, and the good news is the majority of these are going to be very simple to execute. Only one of them involves even just average level mechanics to use. The rest of them you honestly won't even need to practice. As soon as you finish watching this video, you'll pretty much be good to go when it comes to using them in real game situations. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first trick in this video involves an item that many people are calling overpowered in Season 4, the Boogie Bomb. I'm sure we all know what the Boogie Bomb does at this point because it's been in the game since like 2017, but what makes it extra OP now is how common it seems to be, and more importantly, the fact that you can carry up to 10 of them in just one slot of your inventory. So obviously, Boogie Bombs are great for just throwing at people in close range fights to make them dance and basically guarantee you a kill, but there's also another very powerful use for them as well, and that's to counter vehicles. If you remember back in Season X, the only truly viable way to counter the mech was to throw a Boogie Bomb at it, and then that would make the driver pop out and start dancing. Well, the same thing works in Season 4 with cars and other vehicles as well. All you have to do is wait for said vehicle to get close enough to you, and then simply throw the Boogie Bomb so that it hits any part of it. And here's a quick little clip from a Reddit user of this trick in action. So as you saw there, pretty simple to execute since vehicles are relatively large targets, and once you do this, the driver is going to have absolutely no clue what just happened. This does also work with helicopters and boats, but since those typically stay away from land, they're probably going to be a bit harder to hit. However, if you ever wanted to troll your friends for whatever reason, all you have to do while riding in a helicopter is throw a Boogie Bomb at your feet, and that'll make everybody in that helicopter pop out and start dancing. So hopefully you aren't super evil and you at least do that while over water, but I guess it's up to you. Our next trick also involves Boogie Bombs, but this one's going to be a way to counter them instead of a way to utilize them. Like I mentioned in the last section, if you get hit by a Boogie Bomb in Season 4, it's basically a death sentence. You're going to be forced to dance for 5 painfully long seconds, you can't build, and you can't use your weapons, and that means the enemy can just take their time to line up a shotgun shot and absolutely blast you. However, as uncounterable as that may seem, there is one situational way to save yourself from certain death if you get Boogie Bombed, and it involves crash pads. Crash pads have become a very commonly carried item because of their insane versatility. They can be used both offensively and defensively in a variety of situations, and a lot of top competitive players consider them a must-have part of their inventory in Season 4. Well, it turns out if you get Boogie Bombed, you can still use crash pads to get away from the enemy. Even if you weren't on that slot of your inventory when you got boogied, all you have to do is jump, and as you're about to hit the ground, the game will allow you to press A on Xbox or X on PS4 to deploy a crash pad at your feet. And I tested it myself, this works even if you're just 0 levels in the air on regular flat land. And here's another clip from Reddit that shows this little trick in action. So really no skill needed to execute, and if you carry around crash pads fairly frequently, this is definitely something that you want to have in the back of your mind at all times. The next trick is one that's been around for a while now, but it revolves around bouncers, which have been vaulted for a pretty long time, so it really hasn't been possible since then. Bouncers are really cool because since they don't require an inventory spot, there's basically no reason to not carry them in every single game that you play. And a lot of times you'll have at least 4 to 5 of them without even really going out of your way to get them. Obviously, the main use of bouncers is to move a bit quicker around the map, but they can also be used as part of a really cool high ground retake. It's a bit difficult to describe, so I'll just run a really quick clip. So as you saw, you basically place the bouncer at your feet with your building menu out, then you hold R2/RT to turbo build walls the entire time, and finally, as you hit the apex of your jump, place a floor at your feet. From there, you can either repeat that process over and over again to go even higher, or you can just build around yourself if you think you're high enough. However, as good as this is, you're gonna barely be connected at the bottom of your structure, so once you get to the top, try to connect to something else to prevent yourself from being easily shot out. The next trick in this video is kind of a 2-for-1 special involving the Portafort item, another item that's been out of Fortnite for a decent amount of time before Season 4, but now it's back. And even though it isn't a super common item that people carry around, it does have a fairly powerful use in build fights because it basically gives you instant high ground if you just throw it at your feet. But there are also 2 other unique situations where the Portafort is really useful. The first one is when you're using a reboot van. As you guys probably know, it's really difficult to build around the reboot van because it doesn't really allow you to do so. So normally you'd have to build a giant box that uses like 200 materials. But if you have a Portafort, all you have to do is look down towards the ground, throw it, and now you're protected on all sides by a giant metal structure so you can safely reboot. Another situational use of Portaforts is to block the entrance of certain vaults and mythic POIs on the map. The area around the entrance to the vault is usually a no-build zone, just like the area around a reboot van is, but if you just stand outside the vault, look towards the ground, and throw a Portafort, it'll basically totally block the entrance. Now obviously an enemy could break through, but this is by far the best protection you're gonna get when you're looting a vault. The final trick we're gonna be looking at in this video is one that actually involves 2 different items, shockwaves and bouncers. This trick is gonna be used to propel yourself a super far distance very quickly, and it's actually pretty easy and simple to set up. I'll just run a quick clip courtesy of Logan Hallahan from Reddit that showcases how to do it and what exactly it does. So as you saw, you simply place down the bouncer in front of you, place a cone right next to it, push your body against the bouncer, and as you're doing that, aim a shockwave slightly above the bottom triangle on the bouncer. If done correctly, you'll get launched ridiculously far with almost no risk of getting beamed out of the air. So this could obviously be used to escape the storm, rotate an endgame, disengage from a fight, basically however you'd use something like a launch pad. And even though the setup may look a tad bit intimidating, it's actually very easy when you learn how to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Out of the 5 or 6 tricks that I showcased in this video, which one do you think is the most helpful or usable? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.